Avengers: Age of Ultron is directed by Joss Whedon and stars Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, James Spader, and Samuel L. Jackson. It is the second Avengers movie and the 11th movie in the MCU. Endgame is officially coming out at like midnight tomorrow or 7 or whenever they decide to put movies out nowadays. And it's already getting favorable reviews. I am very behind on reviews. I cannot do that. So we're going to push ahead, film a bunch. And we're hopefully getting close. When this came out, people were kind of underwhelmed by it. I mean, obviously, we had just gotten the amazing first Avengers movie. And really, there was no way the audience expectation could have lived up to what Joss did with the first one. And it's a good thing we got the Russos to direct the next two, because I don't think Joss would have been able to carry Infinity War or Endgame. Especially with it, in interviews, you can tell he is stressed making this. He didn't have as much freedom to make stuff, because they definitely had to set up Phase 3. Like, they didn't have much of Phase 3 going, so they had to set up what they had to set up. They had to set up a new Avengers, they had to set up Civil War, Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War. They had to set up a lot of movies, because there was nothing pointless to that. And then they had to introduce characters, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, who doesn't make it through the end of the movie, and Vision. So yeah, and of course Ultron. So they had a lot to do in this movie. But, you know, it's once again a really solid movie. Definitely, when you rank the Avengers movie, this is definitely probably the bottom of it. Just because I still enjoy watching the movie. It's still a good movie, but it's just one that I don't find myself rewatching all the time. Performances are all really good. Like always, Marvel movies are really good. James Spader is pretty decent at voicing Ultron. The problem is Ultron, who's a really big villain in the comics, kind of feels wasted. And he's not as menacing as he could be. He quips a lot. Like, I know MCU movies love to quip, but really, this is Ultron. He's not known for his quips. He's known to be a terrifying foe. And they didn't make him like that. And that's kind of disappointing. We finally got our first introduction to Jarvis's full form of Vision. And I think they did a really good introduction, especially with the Infinity Stone. I think it was done really well in this movie. A lot of character stuff was done pretty well. There's a lot of character stuff in this movie. There's stuff I don't really like. Bruce Banner and Black Widow romance is something I never really wanted or needed. And the Russos did a good job at continuing that by just having them go like, you exist, let's fight. So the Russos did a good job of continuing a forced romance that no one asked for. The pacing can sometimes be a little off. They spent a little bit on a farm, which has some enjoyable moments, but really it's just feels like a distraction. We do get one of the best MCU fight scenes, though. The Hulk versus the Hulkbuster. It's easily one of the best MCU fight scenes, and I love it. Super great. Some characters are definitely more sidelined than the others. Thor doesn't get a lot of screen time in this one. I mean, he goes on this little side quest to discover, like, Infinity Stones and stuff, but he's not really in the movie that much. He doesn't, like, right when they get to the farm, he's out of there. And even in all the battles, he's not really in them. And he comes back when Vision comes. And that's like third act material. Like, we're getting into the final battle at that moment. So he spends like pretty much all the second act out of there. Hawkeye I think it's more character development. You definitely care more about his character, what I like. And they did a really good bait and switch with they set up the whole movie thinking, oh, Hawkeye is going to die. And then it turns out Quicksilver dies. Really great brains, which really enjoy that. For the most part, everything was pretty good in the movie. Like I said, pacing had some issues with it. The reintroduction of Nick Fury, I like Nick Fury, but I felt his reintroduction came out of nowhere and stuff. And the whole farmhouse thing was definitely a major sidetrack that, while did help us care about Hawkeye as a character, definitely felt more like a distraction. Fight scenes would go on a little too long. Baron Strucker side quest felt useless. So did the Claw side quest. I know he had to get vibranium and stuff, but did he really? And then there's Chase to South Korea that felt a little. And a lot of the action isn't as good as it was in the first movie. Like, we definitely get that awesome Hulkbuster scene, and the final battle is pretty cool. But the action isn't as good as it was in the first movie. The Russo brothers, once again, fix that a lot. So, like I said, everything about this movie is pretty decent, but, yeah, not much to it. I'm gonna give Avengers Age of Ultron 75 Jarvises out of 100. So yeah, that's how I feel about Avengers Age of Ultron. Like I said, not bad, not great. Definitely the weakest Avengers movie until I see Endgame, and hopefully that will be the strongest of them all. Very much looking forward to that. But yeah, that's it. Next review will be the final movie in Phase 2, and then we'll be doing a bunch of Phase 3 reviews. Like, there's a lot of Phase 3 movies that I gotta do. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Jordan from Jordan Reviews, signing off.